RIN TV coverage of the 2015 NAPSLO convention is brought to you by the Lexington Insurance Company. Ed Kelly is President and CEO of the American Association of Insurance Services. We spoke with him during the recent NAPSLO convention about the impact of data and technology on underwriting, issues surrounding price optimization, and new product development. Here are the highlights.
Well, I think the major issues being discussed at the conference this year is about data, price optimization, and drones. And those first two are separate, but they're linked, data and price optimization. It's one that we spoke about at great lengths at our recent conference. And on the one side, you've got data and how do you protect it? And the other side is how do you use it in your business appropriately? And that kind of connects to the second item, which is price optimization. And more precisely, the regulatory debate about price optimization. As the admitted market now moves from cost-based rate making to customer pricing sensitivity. Now, this is an area that's new for the admitted market. It's one surplus lines certainly has lived in for quite some time. And the third issue that's being addressed is drones. And I find it to be, obviously, it's a fast emerging issue. And I think we're just at the we're at the beginnings of it. It's going to be an issue like the other two that are going to be around for quite some time. Data and technology has been used in underwriting risk, probably before my time, but since I've been in the industry 20 plus years, I think you could argue it's been used in the same way. And the one thing I always find interesting is the insurance industry continues to be the leader in IT spend by various metrics, and certainly IT spend per employee. So we know there's a lot of dollars in play to determine how best to spend those dollars around improving the underwriting process. I'll speak about data first. Data, I mentioned there's a lot of discussion about price optimization and using data for that, and we'll get through that, but I think what we're not talking about is how we're going to be using data in the marketing, sales, and distribution side more effectively. I think that's going to be a much bigger impact on our industry. I think that we spend a lot more dollars there. And that's why we're all here. There's 4,300 people registered for this one event over 4 days. Global insurance professionals around the world are here to do one thing, talk about marketing, sales, and distribution. They're not spending a lot of time talking about underwriting. And so it's all about increasing the funnel so we can get to the bottom line results. So I think that's a big area. Let me talk about technology. How do we use technology? As I mentioned, there's a lot of dollars there. At AAIS, we've been focused on addressing this issue because we know for our member companies, their biggest cost component working with us is IT. And so we're trying to change that, transition that so we can provide greater customer service at a greater cost. And it's all around ease of doing business. So recently we launched an underwriting platform. We've taken our industry-leading programs, which are inland marine and commercial output, two lines that are used extensively in surplus lines, and we put them on an underwriting platform that now will interface with any policy administration system. So both new systems and legacy systems, cutting out 80% or more of the cost to implement and maintain our programs. And we think that's going to be significant to us, to our member companies, and to the industry. So we're very excited about that. Well, I think we'll look to see innovation in a few places, certainly around drones and data and distribution. In drones, we're going to see drones move from where they are today, which are kind of small, hobby-like air vehicles, to larger unmanned vehicles, be them driverless cars or driverless planes or trucks or trains. And with that, there's going to be a transition or a shift with personal and commercial lines coverages or risk from operators to manufacturers. So that's going to be interesting. we're a leader in farm and ag, so we're looking at it very closely there, and there's a lot of applications we're seeing. But you can imagine the data collected by drones being downloaded and transmitted to ag scientists or commodity traders or others, and they can respond instantaneously to the progression of a crop or progression of a herd. So that's very exciting. So around data and distribution, I think when we think about that, we need to think about new players like Google. And I think Google will enter our market perhaps similar to the new players in mortgage banking, where they're happy to sell the paper and collect the commission and fees, but want to unload the risk. And so I think we would be underestimating Google or companies like Google as just data companies, because they are interfacing often, more often than we are with our customers, and they are building a relationship. It may be a different relationship than we've had with them in the past, but it doesn't mean it won't be just as strong.
For more of our coverage of the 2015 NAPSLO convention, visit the RIN TV On Demand Library.